You can go and sell that on Monday when the market opens. You can go and sell it, and you have $4 you can put in your bank account if you want to, or you can hold on to it and see if it
Okay,
goes
wait.
up
So I
anywhere.
actually gain money from just downloading this app.
Yes.
This is just so irrelevant.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Irrelevant Podcast, episode number 4. This is going to be an interesting one.
We're back. We're relevant. And we're ready for episode 4. You guys thought we weren't going to continue this.
Dude, they didn't believe.
doubted.
They doubted it.
They really doubt us. They're like, oh, that's not going to be more than like 2 episodes.
As long as you keep going, it'll be good, but it probably won't keep going.
Someone was like, wow, this is the longest thing you guys have continued. I'm like,
They said that?
someone said that in the comments.
No.
I mean, it could be a compliment though.
How is that a
It's
compliment?
like, hell yeah, you guys did it.
Wow, we made 3 episodes and we did it?
Dude, to be fair, the amount of series I've started. Do you say series? All right, wait, this is just so irrelevant, but it's fine.
Okay.
Do you say series or serieses?
Okay. Is that really a
No, but
question?
I know it's series, but it doesn't sound right.
Well, it's
Like,
just
I made a
saying,
bunch of different series.
It's like moose. You know?
I made a bunch of different moose.
Well, no, but you know what I mean? Like, the plural is the same as
You'd say,
singular.
you'd say like cattle with moose, right?
cattle or cows, bro. Moose. You don't say
Yeah,
like, you don't say like
cattle is cattle,
mooses or moosin. You know, like ox,
Moosei.
oxen, moosei.
Moosei.
Moose. Okay,
Mussolini.
that sounds about it. Mussolini.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Anyways, regardless, a
We're
lot
back.
of times I've had the series that only goes like 1 or 2 episodes, but we've done 4. This is great.
4. This is number 4, and this one should be on time this week. Last week we were out a day late. I apologize.
It was Halloween though.
It was Halloween.
Yeah.
We recorded it at like midnight on Sunday, and it was supposed to come out the next day. Just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but real quick,
we actually recorded on midnight.
dude, we did. We
people
tried
don't
to start at 8:30, and we finished around like 12:30.
We really tried.
We just talk too much.
Yeah.
Which is why we're doing this. And it's a good thing we can because we have some nice sponsors. Elgato,
Yes.
rocking the mics.
Still got the mics.
Hell yeah.
Doing
nice.
great.
We're in there. Pop filters are in there. We're looking good. Sounding good.
Check
feeling
out
good.
Elgato in the link below down in the
Absolutely.
description to check out all the Elgato products. We pretty much use everything like we said before on all of our streams. Elgato makes awesome products.
Yeah.
So huge thanks to Elgato there. What else have we added to the setup? Have we added anything new? today? Typically we add something new.
You know what? I hate to say it, but I don't think we had anything new this week.
You got tea.
I got some lemonade tea here. Also, we do have some fake money. That's technically different this week.
It's going to go with our topic
It goes
today.
with the theme. It does go with
Yeah.
the theme. But before we hop into the theme, I want to know what you did this week. What have you been up to? How's
Okay.
life going?
Well, this week, I honestly, you know what? I'm stoked to talk about this. My air conditioner broke.
Oh God. You're excited to talk about your air conditioner
I'm just
breaking?
pissed, bro. How
I
can
would
an air
be.
conditioner break?
It does. It happens.
I know it happens, but okay, no, get this. It's like we're nearing winter. We basically, are we in winter?
It's cold here.
It's
in
getting
LA. It's
cold.
pretty cold. It's
At night?
55,
Yeah.
freezing.
Cold outside. You have to wear a jacket. Like I had to wear a jacket to come over here, right? But inside my apartment right now, it is 85 degrees. How? Especially at night. At night, it's 85 degrees. I don't understand how that works.
When did you realize it stopped working?
Over 24 hours ago. It's been like 2 days.
Do you called up the AC people? Is it the whole apartment that's
No,
messed
it's
up,
just
or just your room?
It's just my room, dude. You like outside my door. It's so cold.
Did you open the windows at least? Try to get some air in?
No, because I had to stream, and dude. All right, I've talked about this on my stream, but dude, I can't stream opening up windows where people on the street can hear me.
Can't do it.
That's just terrifying. I know we're doing a podcast and people are listening to me right now, but
He's terrified of people on the street, but he's streaming to 200 to 800 people at a time, any given time.
that's
The logic there is not great, but I understand.
Dude, it's just I don't want my neighbor to know.
You don't want them to know.
Yeah, I don't want my neighbor to know I'm doing that.
You're not doing like porn though, like you know. It's like it's
No.
not that bad. Like people aspire to be what you are.
I know, but it's just I just don't want to hear them talk like me talking about like I was playing Spider-Man again.
I
don't want
see.
people to
All
just
right.
I mean, as much as I love Spider-Man, I don't want people to just hear me like freaking out or raging about Spider-Man
All
or
right, that's
something.
fair. That's fair.
So
So your AC is boned.
it's busted.
It's totally screwed.
It's completely busted. And we found out what the problem was. And you're not going to believe this. I think I told you a little bit, okay? But we undid the AC thing. It's like, in the ceiling of the bathroom, which is crazy. Also, there's like a pipe that goes like over the the bathtub, which I didn't know, but apparently that can like drip water out if the AC like overflows or something with water.
Okay.
It's just this extra pipe that's above the bathtub. I guess it's just, they're like, the people who made the building, and this is a thing, I guess, in apartments. They're like, yo, if the water overflows, don't worry. It will go to the bathtub.
Genius.
Crazy. But imagine taking a shower though and sort of
And it's just
feeling like
pouring.
something-
It's a waterfall
it's like
shower.
dirty water or
Oh,
something.
God.
Ugh. But we opened up the thing, and the guy goes, "Huh, there's an ice cube in here."
Like an ice cube or like a block of ice.
A block of ice. Literally a block of ice. There's like he opened up the thing above this sort of like rubber thing. I don't know how to describe it. This is not my forte, by the way, guys. I don't know if you can tell, but
Above the rubber thing, there was a
the
block
rubber
of
thing.
ice.
there's a block of ice that was blocking the airway. Like genuinely, there
see.
actually could be ice like in the like before the vents, before the air comes out of the vents, and it was just up there like on top of the whole AC thing. And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's not. It's been continuously running to try to get cold air, and that's why it's like frozen
It's
over.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just completely
So it
frozen.
was like probably like a little leak that like there was dripping
Some
water
leak or something happened,
and it just froze over.
and he was like, "Oh yeah, also we're gonna have to just let it thaw. It's thawing right now." Because he said there's nothing we can do. I was like, "Well, can we get like a hair dryer?" And, like,
Get in there.
and he's like, "No, that'll damage the equipment. Like we gotta be safe." So literally, just the ceiling in my bathroom right now
Just dripping water.
is open, dripping water and thawing.
Well, you're here,
And that's my
so
life.
we got the AC's pumping
And that's
here.
what-
Well, actually, it really isn't because it's cold out. But
That's fine. But
all right,
that's
so AC
what
was your
happened
whole
to me.
week, pretty much.
and it's still broken. And I'm
Well,
still doing
I
this
hope-
podcast.
I hope. Hey, I respect that. I hope they fix it soon because that's not fun. In LA, it's not fun.
Yeah.
And most around the country right now, people are experiencing what you like you said. Winter is coming. So, oh, little Game of Thrones reference in there. Okay.
It doesn't hit the same. though
Nah, it
anymore.
doesn't. It doesn't.
Really
You know,
doesn't.
it's, but yeah, it's definitely warmer here than it is elsewhere. So AC is important year round. Well, hopefully they fix that soon.
Yeah.
For me, you know, I didn't do much different than last week. We had a lot of video shoots this week. We
Oh, yeah.
shot, well, I didn't particularly, but my brother shot 2 music videos.
Shout out to Mike, living legend.
We can get into actually. I could go really off the rails with this one. First time I've ever had a client who was actually mad at me, like
Oh, no.
genuinely. So we're shooting this video, right?
Yeah.
This is a hack job bootleg. I'm not gonna name the client.
Oh,
All the clients that we're good with, they'll know it's not them.
So is this just this isn't happening now?
Dude, it was out of the blue. I got hit up on Instagram. I don't even care if he hears me because that's how much we're not willing to work with him anymore. Oh yeah, it was bad. It was bad. He hits me up on Instagram. We knew it was kind of like a hack job deal. He wanted us to DP the music video, like to direct photography for the music video. So we show up. The minute I leave, and my brother finished wrapping up after me, my brother said, the minute I leave, the guy started talking so much shit. Like just so much shit about me.
About you?
Yeah. Like just so I'm like, I was blindsided.
To
I was
Mike,
like,
to your
to
brother.
my brother. He knew it was my brother too. Sure, he knew he would relay it. I do not understand how this man could be mad at me. I really don't. He was like terrible communication, horrible customer service, just so bad. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? I'm not gonna get deep into it, but I was taken back. So
Can that be the bio of this podcast? Terrible communication, horrible service, just
horrible
bad.
customer service. I didn't know I was a sales rep taking calls for customers. Like I didn't know that was my job. Sorry.
Well, I want that to be the description of the podcast. Did he say you're irrelevant too?
No.
Or is that it?
No. Apparently, I mean that would have been the icing on the cake. If he said you're irrelevant, I would have taken that to the grave. That would have been great. That would have made my day. But I was actually like low key kind of fired up about that.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I'm
so Mike
sorry.
shot another day with him, and then recognized quickly that this guy is just. Some people out there, man, are just, they're just not it. It's fine. I like.
So is it done? Is
It's
it not
done.
coming
Well,
out?
I mean, no, we're gonna finish our job. We did the best we could. That's how we work. Like, I'm not gonna just slight the guy. We're gonna do as
Damn.
good as we can. But I didn't go to the second shoot that I was supposed to because the first one I was like, I'm not going to that. Like, this guy doesn't want me there. Clearly. Anyway, so that was my week. It was good. Aside from that,
That's about equal to AC being broke, to be honest.
yeah, I just
Why
was
did we
so,
both have like a bad week?
Well, it wasn't a bad week. I was just so
bad
confused.
week.
Still am confused. because I'm not going to get into it because it would take forever, but
Yeah.
like it just doesn't make sense at all. Like I was so nice to the guy. I did the same thing I do to everyone else. Like my communication,
That's
like the whole business. That's our whole business is communicating.
Look, we talk a lot about life on this podcast so far, and I feel like that just goes with all the themes we've been talking about. No matter what you do, you could literally do the best job in the world at something, or you could just be, trying your best, and you're always gonna have a hater. You're always gonna have somebody.
There's always going to be someone.
who tries to like knock you down a peg.
Yeah.
For some reason. There might not be any explanation as to why, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You could be the night. You could literally give somebody, like, if you had the ability to give like $1 million to somebody every single day of your life, and just be like, here's $1 million, here's $1 million, here's $1 million, here's even more $1 million. And you keep giving it to people. You're gonna have somebody who goes, why didn't you give it to that guy?
Yeah.
Why are you even doing that? You're just doing that. You're just doing that for fame or something. And you're gonna be like, I'm literally giving $1 million away.
You're right, dude.
Yeah. So
You're right. Yeah. It was just I don't know, man. Like I just still don't understand it. I don't think I ever will understand it. But
can't keep this money, by the way.
yeah, dude, have at it. It's not real.
Oh,
See, it says not legal tender, play money.
nice.
But there's a lot of it here. And
Play money.
the reason we have it is because that's the topic of today.
Yes. The topic of today is money.
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 Monkey.
Monkey.
Okay, money.
Money.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about money. Things relating to money.
Yeah,
Not necessarily just money.
We wanted to talk about this topic for a bit because, well, we just thought it'd be interesting because Matt knows a little bit more about, I would say, finances and investing and all that sort of stuff over me. I feel like probably with your age too.
Yeah, it
we
comes with
talked about
age.
you just being older than me and stuff. That's something that I'm still relatively new to. Like, oh, that's what that looks like. Oh, that's what that kind of payment looks like. I'm still like learning those things.
Yeah.
So we figured it'd be kind of cool to have a podcast just about money, just about.
Yeah.
And we're still gonna have the Q&A section at the end though. So stay tuned
Absolutely.
for some questions at the
And
end.
those are actually not related to money. So
yeah.
but
not the whole
even
thing.
if you don't care about this kind of subject, like this is not going to be, it's not going to be political. This is, to me, the purpose of this one is to like just share my advice, share my experience.
How do you get rich?
No, dude, I can't tell you that one yet. Not yet. But I have some ideas.
Matt, please. How do I make the bank?
How do you make the money?
How do I own the bank? How do
Man,
I
I
go
couldn't
to the
tell you,
bank
dude.
right now, buy it?
just to go there and tell them I own this bank. Put a flag down on the ground and say I own it.
It's as easy as that.
It's just that easy, dude. Just that easy.
I guess that's what our forefathers did. They just
Pretty
went,
much.
mine.
This is mine now. The moon, this is mine now. I put flag down and it is mine.
If we put this here, it would just stab it into the ground. It's good.
It is considered mine. Yeah. So I feel like what we can do is you can, I think a lot of people listening are they're somewhere between both of us, right?
Yeah.
They're roughly around our age, give or take. And you might know a lot about finance and investing and the importance of, because at the end of the day, money does like control a lot of things. Unfortunately, it does. It's kind of important. So if you can figure out how to play it right and learn the way it works and take advantage of kind of strategies and opportunities with it, you can really play it to your advantage. You can make it not a non-stressful thing.
Can I ask you a loaded question at the very
Load it
beginning?
up.
Okay. Let's just start very general.
Yeah.
Okay. Does money buy happiness? Yes or no?
No.
said it.
No,
He said it.
it doesn't. That's like a huge question right off the bat.
Sounds loaded.
True, it was loaded.
But it's important. That's a question
no.
you always hear all the time. So
It doesn't buy happiness, but it does affect. I think it does affect your like mental state quite a bit.
true.
It's because it's like it's unavoidable. It's like it is a huge factor in society,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not. Like that's just the truth of it. You can't, right? You can't buy things. You can't like provide food for yourself, provide shelter for yourself. Like just any basic necessities of life revolve around like they involve money. And so like if you can't eat and sleep and be comfortable, like you're not gonna be happy. So in that way, I guess sure you could argue that, but no, if you have a shit ton of money, like you're not gonna just instantly be happy.
True.
Because if you win the lottery,
agree.
I feel like if you win the, oh shit, If you guys could hear that, I apologize. That's an R8. It's a sports car, and it's loud as shit.
Yo, money.
Yo, there you go. Money can buy you a sports car that might make you a little happier. But like if you won the lottery today,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd be like euphoric. But a year from now, like you're not gonna be happy forever because you won the lottery.
Yeah, true.
In fact, I feel like winning the lottery is a bad thing a lot of the time, especially if you don't know how to manage money. Oh, it's terrible. If you came into it like a millions of dollars, having no understanding of what it is like to like earn money and make a good amount of money, you might spend it all and be totally screwed.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think you could spend that much money, but you can. It's happened. Yeah, that thing's like a boat, dude. It's loud.
Jeez.
I don't know if I can say who it is because I don't want to. Well, we probably can. If you guys know who Dom Mazzetti, Bro Life Science, we're working on some stuff with him. He's phenomenal. Anyway, that's his car. It's phenomenal. It's so
cool.
sick.
So cool.
Anyway, so back to what we're talking about.
Okay.
Give me some questions that you have from a like a, you know, what do you want to know?
Okay, here's what I want to know. I think this is one of the first things I said to you when I got here that I really want to know. Okay, for me, we could go down the rabbit hole talking about like investing and all that kind of stuff too. I think we'll get to that. But for you, when do you think, like, when do you see yourself, or like, when do you see most people, like, what is the time to, like, I always think about, like, when do I want to get a house? When do I want to, like, strive for that? When do you start saving for that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's something, I feel like for me, that's, like, the next thing in the future is, like, is house probably, right? Like, in terms of, because I'm living in an apartment. I'm in LA. It's going to be really hard to get a house, though. I feel like my situation is very different now because I'm in LA. But, you know, like, my buddy DC, for instance, he's in, I guess I can say where DC is. He's in Nashville. I went to college with him and everything, and I mean he's married now and is basically in a house.
Did he buy his first house? Or his own house?
I think it's like a townhome.
Like a townhouse?
Yeah,
It still counts.
yeah. But I haven't been there yet. I really want to go. But yeah, I'm just like, damn, like he's killing it already. You know.
How old is he?
He's my age. He's 23.
23.
Yeah.
So he's like a year out of college, right? Year or two?
Yeah, same for me. Well, just less than a year.
Less than a year out.
6 months maybe.
See, yeah, I think that's awesome. That's good for. So did he buy it? You say, or he's just renting it for now?
He's just renting it, but I know DC. He's like he's
gonna buy one.
He's really into all this kind of stuff.
Into finance and stuff like that. All right. So to answer your question, here's personally, I think buying a house before buying a car is super smart.
Yeah.
A car is a liability. It's a debt, really. Because as soon as you buy the car and drive it off the lot, it loses value.
Yep.
You're whatever. Let's say you buy a car for $30,000, drive it off the lot, it's instantly worth like $28,000.
Yeah.
So you just lost $2,000 right off the bat. Yeah, you get you A to B, and there's opportunity costs, stuff like that. But that's a liability. It's a debt. With a house, let's say you put $30,000 down on a house. It's an equity. It's equity. You own the house, and you can resell the house ideally for more in the future. And you're building like an asset for yourself.
Yeah.
You're putting equity into an asset that you own.
So you're saying the faster you have something like that, the better.
I don't think it's the faster the better. So for me, I bought this place we're staying in right now.
Guys, I'm like I'm a super noob to all this kind of stuff, to be honest, because I'm like fresh out of college. Literally.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people, a lot of guys watching this might even be younger than that. So like they're not thinking about that yet, but trust me, I think it's important that you do start to think about this stuff, because the sooner you do it, the better you're going to be long term.
True.
That's like the key that we're going to hit on a bunch here. So the first thing I would buy is a house, if you can. Obviously, a house is like a way bigger deal than a car.
Yeah.
And if you need the car to go to your job, or you want to like freedom, obviously, I think it's great. But I would recommend buying a used car. Like your first car shouldn't be your dream car. It shouldn't be even like a car that it's like really not. I think you should buy as cheap as possible and save your money for the house. Yeah. I bought the house before I bought my Tesla, my car.
Yeah.
And I bought the house at 23, which is, I would say, is kind of early compared to most people. because a lot of people, like a lot of my friends that are now like 24, 25, are still living with their parents still.
Yeah.
And that's a a lot of people. I think a lot of people are still in that boat, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
just like, right now, especially during the pandemic, it's really hard to, if you got a job and whatnot. So I'd say, yeah, house is the first thing you want to buy when you can.
Mm-hmm.
We can get detailed on that if you want, like how it works, like a mortgage.
Dude, how stressful is a mortgage?
It's not. So here's what my thought process was.
Yeah.
I moved to LA. I was living in an apartment. I was paying $1,500 a month in a 2-bedroom apartment. I was splitting it with my roommate. It was about $3,000 a month.
That's not bad. It doesn't sound
Well, I mean, it depends where you live in the country. It's
bad. If
expensive.
you're splitting it though.
But for LA, that's not terrible.
Yeah.
So $1,500 a month is what I paid, plus utilities. But let's just make it real easy. $1,500. So I pay that every month, and I get to live there.
Yeah.
The beauty of renting, I don't got to worry about when things break. I can call a landlord. Like your AC broke, right? Oh, you just call up the guy and they'll fix it. And
That's true.
You don't have to pay for it.
Right.
Right? It's on the apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
Great. The difference between that and this place, I'm now paying a little bit more in my mortgage, but that just depends on what you put down. So let's just say I pay the same amount roughly.
Okay.
I pay $1,500 a month for the mortgage, but I own the place. That $1,500 I spend every month, I'm not basically burning it.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it into this house. So it's still the same amount of money, but I'm paying off the loan on the house. So when I'm done paying off the loan, I own this house that's worth whatever it's worth at that point. $500,000, I don't know, whatever it's worth.
Yeah.
So all that $1,500 every month that I put away for however long, years and years and years, I'm really just paying myself. I'm putting it into an asset as opposed to giving it to a landlord or whatever that I'm never going to see again. But there's pros and cons of both, right? Like owning a house,
It's a big
anytime
deal.
something breaks,
Yeah.
I gotta call someone or I gotta do it myself. I gotta fix it, and that adds up a lot. You got property taxes. That's thousands of dollars a year extra that you don't have to pay when you pay rent. There's extra costs involved, but at the end of it, you own the place, right?
And Cali taxes are high too.
So
right.
the income tax is bad
Yeah.
here. It's like 9%,
Yeah.
but the property tax is actually reasonable.
Really?
It's 1.25% of whatever the property value is. So I pay it's like $6,000 a year on property tax.
Damn.
Back home, my parents' house that's valued the same amount as this place,
Mm-hmm.
they were paying $21,000 a month. I meant a year, sorry, for property tax. A month? Can you imagine, bro? They'd be, no, that'd be terrible. You get out of that situation.
Yo, this deleted.
Gone.
This is gone.
Throw it in the trash. Yeah, so but New Jersey does it way differently than they do it here. Like there, everyone pays like a portion. Like if you live in a small town and there aren't a lot of businesses that pay taxes, the residential properties pay more tax. So the taxes can be way higher.
Okay.
Or lower, but depends on where
See,
you
that's
live.
what I see. See, I moving from like Texas and all that kind of stuff. I just always hear like taxes are so bad over here compared to
terrible.
everything else.
Brutal. But your level of income here is also generally higher.
It's true, yeah.
Because it has to compensate somehow. But it is way harder to live
Yeah.
here because it's way more expensive and the taxes are brutal.
Dude, I miss my apartment in Austin.
Oh, it's probably way cheaper.
Oh my god. I don't even want to go into those numbers. Right
No,
now.
I don't. I bet you don't. I bet you don't, dude.
It's a pain. It is really a pain right now. But I don't think I'm going to be living there longer than a year, probably.
Well, I mean, enjoy it while you can.
Yeah.
But you did pick like the most expensive spot in all of LA, pretty much.
There's reasonings why, but we can't talk about those yet.
Fair. So, well, I mean, hey, you live it up while you're there, you know?
It was one of those things where it was also moving during COVID too.
Yeah.
You got to think about that as well. Like it was kind of had to find a place really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get a lot of time to scout it out as much as I wanted to.
Well, now that you're here, you can figure out where you want to be and, we get a better deal.
But now that I've now I've been here though, like I can tell you just being like, I do miss my Austin apartment though. I had so much room.
Your place is rather small.
Well, my place
Unfortunately.
right now, like you're paying for the location more than anything else.
You have one of the best spots in all of LA, in my opinion.
Dude, don't dox me though.
Location wise. I'm not gonna. I'm just thinking you live in a really sweet area.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Oh, I helped you pick it out. I mean,
I know.
I know. I set you up.
Dude,
but I was like, do you really want
Wait.
to pay this much? That's a lot of money. Like a lot.
We had to get over here somehow.
Yeah, you're good.
But it was definitely a little bit more in my Austin apartment. My Austin apartment too. The other thing that I've realized just moving here is, and it's kind of, I mean, people have been asking a bunch like, how's moving to LA? So this kind of goes with that a little bit. But dude, the amount of square feet I had in my Austin apartment, like my living room, bro.
Do you know how much it was? How many square feet?
It had to be like, I swear to God, it was like, it was definitely over 1,000.
Yeah.
Um,
And now you're living in like five.
I think now it's like 500 to 600
Yeah.
square feet.
Yeah.
I think it's like 600 square feet. But I had like, I swear, like double the room.
Yeah.
In all honesty, like I had so much room in my bedroom. I had so much room in the living room. The living room, I didn't know what to do with the amount of room that I had in my Austin apartment. I miss it, man. If I ever live in Austin again, I know exactly what place. If I want to rent, or being in an apartment, I know exactly what place I want to go back to because it was great. It was a really
Hell,
nice
that's
spot.
awesome, dude.
But moving here, I'm not gonna lie, dude. You like you have me thinking about financing and investing and all that sort of stuff. Like something my mom told me recently is, and this is something I don't really do, but she told me I should move my money into a money market account, which I don't know if you know about that. I'm sure
Yeah.
you do.
So
But can you explain that to me a little bit? Because so basically, I have like just a checking account, basically. Right. But I don't have like a money market account or anything like that. Like, what's the reasoning why you do that, and what does it do for you? Because my mom has like been telling me, she's like, "Have you done it yet?" I'm like, "No, no, I have not, but I probably need to."
No, your mom's right.
Yeah.
Do you have student loans?
No,
You don't. Okay.
I'm dude. Praise the Lord.
That's
I don't.
great. That's great because I feel horrible for people with student loans. It's rough.
I'm super.
They really
super
really
fortunate
get you on that.
to not have that.
I'm gonna do a quick blurb on that just because I think some people watching will have that, or in the future when they go to college they're gonna have it. So my quick advice for student loans, and I can comment on this specifically because my girlfriend's going through this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Typically you have let's just say it's $20,000 in student loans.
Yeah.
And your rates will be, I don't know, it can be very, very different in rates, but let's just say it's like 7%. That's usually around where it is. In checkings accounts, your money's just sitting in the bank, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's a savings account. Right now, especially because interest rates are almost zero. It's just sitting in a bank. It's basically like you have a bunch of cash and it's just sitting in your bank doing nothing.
Yeah.
Money market account, you take your cash and you can, well, it depends on what kind of money market account you have and what you want to do with it. But generally, you put it in, you say, here, I'm going to give this to this money market account or
For our audio listeners, he's actually putting money on the table.
I'm putting money. I'm literally handing JC some money. I'm giving it to this money market account that manages this money.
Okay.
And invests it in different companies.
So they're like using your money.
No, it's still your money. Well, technically once you give it to them, it's
Their hands are on it.
they get to choose what they do with it.
They're passing it
But
around.
don't think about it like,
Yeah,
oh,
like
they're gonna go and invest
yeah.
in some schemey
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you invest in a money market account or like a
Still,
Vanguard
your money's
or
there.
I don't even know, like Fidelity or whatever.
Yeah.
They're gonna put it in, and you can choose how risky or how safe you want to play it.
Right.
But they're gonna put it in companies that are established, that have long history, that have great financial numbers, that aren't gonna just collapse tomorrow. And then the idea is when you put it in there, it's growing.
It's gaining interest over time.
Well, yeah. So basically, the S&P 500 is an index. It's a conglomerate of all the biggest companies, the 500 biggest companies in America.
Yeah.
I believe it's America. I could be wrong, but it's the 500 biggest companies.
Okay.
And typically every year, that index or the American companies grow about 6%. On average, over the last several decades, it's on average about 6%. So if I go ahead and I say, okay, this year I'm going to put $10,000 or $20,000 that I have in the bank, I'm going to put it in an index fund. I'm going to put it in the S&P 500, right? I buy the S&P 500 for $20,000 worth. Next year, if it's a typical year or rough, give or take, over the next several years, you should get 6% return every single year, right?
Okay.
So I'll pull up the calculator real quick, do some quick math for you. You have your $20,000. If you, let's just say in the next 3 years, you didn't do anything with it, you left it in a checking account, you didn't do your money market account like your mom said
Right,
to.
20K.
In 3 years, it's worth 20K. Arguably less because of inflation, but it's worth 20K, right? It's just sitting there. It hasn't done anything. If you put it in the S&P 500 and it does its typical 6% every year, and this year it's actually, I don't know what it is right now, but most stocks this year, most big tech stocks or big blue chip stocks are way up, like way up because of Corona and all kinds of crazy shit. 6%, the first year you made $1,200 on your 20,000. So now you have 12,000, or you have 1,200 rather, plus 20. You have $21,200
In 1 year?
in 1 year. The next year, let's just say, does the same thing. You get even more money on it, plus your 21,000. When I say 20,600, year 2 you have 22,000, almost $23,000.
Yeah.
So in 2 years you made 23. This is compounding interest though. So when you get to 10 years, and I should have pulled this up somewhere, I can do it in post, but every year it adds 6% to the previous year. It's not just a 6% on 20,000.
Yeah.
It's growing.
That'd be the
6%.
6% on the 21.
Yeah, exactly.
6% on the 23.
When you look at that over the course of 10, 20, 30 years, it is astounding how big that can grow when you continue to put money in and it continues to grow on compounding interest.
So you'd highly recommend for me to do that?
Everybody should be doing this. This is, and
why don't people do that?
I want to discredit real quick, not discredit, just denote. I am not a financial advisor. This is not legal financial advice. This
His shirt says reckless.
Dude, this is totally my opinion. I have to say this, I think, because like I'm not a financial, like I can't be giving it financial advice.
I'm definitely not.
But you can look at anyone anywhere, ask your financial advisor, ask anyone. This is Bible. This is like how it is. So for student loan people, you're paying 7% interest. It works reverse basically. You owe the loan 7% every year, right? Mm-hmm. So the quicker you can pay that off, the better. You want to get rid of that loan as quickly, and that's obvious.
Yeah.
But the thing here is like, if you have the money to pay it down, pay that first. Forget the car, forget the house, forget partying, get rid of the loan, because the longer you wait, the more you pay.
Yeah.
If you wait 10 years, 20 years to pay your loan off, if your loan's worth $30,000, you're going to end up paying like more than double that, which is insane. That's why student loans are like, there's such a fuss about it, because it's just like you're digging your own grave. It's so hard to get out of that. It's so hard. It's really hard. But a lot of people have student loans, so I feel bad. So for Jess, she came out here. She got a stable job now. She's making good money. I was like, hey, take all the money, all the like extra income you have that you don't need to pay, food, rent, car bills, whatever. Put it towards your loans first. Get that out of the way. Don't even worry about the savings, building up your savings, because it's useless right now. Just get rid of the loans, especially now while COVID's going on. There's no interest rates, so you can pay them down right now. You're not paying any extra on it. Just pay them down, get rid of those, and then you start saving. So once you're debt free, if you don't have student loans at all, then you can just start this right now. Start investing, and you don't have to invest in like crazy, like wild stocks like Tesla. I mean, it's not crazy anymore, but like it's volatile. It moves like a lot.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, I've seen like when Elon like tweets something wild and people are like
Elon will
pissed.
tweet something and the stock will change millions of dollars, or
like I remember. Do you remember when like a couple weeks ago or something, or like a couple months ago, he just went, "Wow, I think like the stock's gonna go down or something."
Yeah,
and everybody's like, "Why would you say that?"
Oh yeah, dude. And it well, he said I think it's overvalued, and it like went up a shit ton. See, that's it. Like that
went down.
Well, it probably went down to start, but it's Tesla. I don't even want to get in a Tesla. I would actually be rich if I didn't sell my Tesla shareholdings a year ago. I don't even want to get there.
Wait, what?
I would literally be like, I would have made so much goddamn money. I bought Tesla when it was at $208.
Okay, and what happened?
Hold
on, we have to talk about this for a second. This is a very interesting point.
I'll tell you. I was a firm believer in Tesla. I have been for years. You can look on social. I've been posting about it for probably 5 years now. Huge believer. I bought a substantial amount of Tesla at $208 a share. It's currently about $2,200. It's 10x in 1 year. That's unreal, especially for a company that like predominant. Like it's not a penny stock. It's a legitimate worldwide company. It's not some startup.
Yeah, 10 times more in
10x
1 year.
return. I'm not going to share how much I put in, but let's just say I would be doing quite well right now.
You're already being so transparent, so I think.
Yeah, like I
fine.
don't want to get too detailed on it, but I at that time, Tesla was getting so much bad press. Like all it got was bad press, and they were struggling to go positive. Like they were negative every month or every
Back when you
quarter.
originally did
When
it?
I
Yeah.
first invested in it in 200, this is about the time David Dobrik invested $1 million in Tesla too. If he held it till now, he doesn't need to work again for the rest of his life. He just 10x'd $1 million. It's $10 million in 1 year. That's absurd. But so it was just having a lot of
Yeah.
bad press. They finally beat earnings one. They like beat the estimated what the market thought they would do for earnings for their company. So their stock value went way up. I made a couple $1,000s on it, and I sold. And I planned to wait for the price to come back down because I thought that it would, and it did. To come back down and buy more. I wasn't able to put more money in because I needed to use it to pay some other stuff off, like some debt. So I never got back into Tesla. Over the next year, it proceeded to go up 1,000%. It just kept going. Just like I knew it was going to happen. I was ready for it to happen because I believe I said Tesla was the next Apple. It's not the next Apple yet, but I'm telling you it's going to be. And for the stock price, oh my God. So anyway, I missed out on a
Wow.
10x. I missed out on a 10x opportunity. It's like my only regret, really, to be honest with you.
We had that episode where like, do you have any regrets about your life? And you're like, no.
Yeah, but I can't. It's like
You're
whatever.
like-
You live
like,
and you
no.
learn. I'm not in a bad position.
No, I don't
I
have any
still made
regrets.
money
and then
on
in
it.
the back of your head, you're just like, God,
I mean,
dude.
when I think about it, it kills me inside. It really does, because this is what I was saying. Like, no matter what it is, when you believe in something, don't give up on it. Don't give. And this is so like superficial because it's just related to money, really. But seriously, I love Elon. I love what they're about. I love the environmental benefits. I own a Tesla, obviously. Like once I got the car, I knew.
Yeah.
That's when I bought all the shares, because I bought the car 2 years ago, and right around that time I was like, oh my God, dude, this is like, once you don't know until you're in one. This revolution, dude. It's just different. It's just leagues above everything else. And you've been in mine. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
That's sick.
So anyway, so I missed out on that opportunity. Anyway, back to what we were saying. Let's go into this. It's the
Okay.
stock market, right?
Okay,
Because
so-
you're talking about money market.
Yeah, I'm talking about a money market account.
So you have money in your bank.
So let's just recap really fast. Should I put my money from a checking account into a money market account?
Yes.
Probably. If I'm not using it.
If you don't need it,
Wait, the money market account, can you use it? while
so
it's in
there's
there
a
or no?
bunch of different, we can get really into this, but there's a bunch of different, so there's like retirement accounts where you put money in and you get tax benefits.
I get so confused on like what the hell are the difference in accounts. That sounds
there's
so
a
basic,
lot.
but
So
it's
let's
like,
just keep it real simple.
yeah, because you have checking is the basic, right?
Yeah. Checking is just sitting in a bank.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing. It's safe. It's protected,
Yeah.
but it's not earning anything. I mean, technically, there's some banks you get interest, but it's
I mean, most people
nothing.
it's checking and savings,
Right.
the two.
And that's what most people are comfortable with. Like my girlfriend hasn't invested in anything because she doesn't understand it. She doesn't know about
I mean,
it.
I haven't. Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want to lose any money. And I'm like, yeah, that's totally like a reasonable thing. But you are missing out on so much gain by not putting it into something
I mean, at
that's
the
going
end
to
of
at
the day,
least grow.
did you gain from the Tesla bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you did.
I made about $4,000 or $5,000,
That's
Which is
sick, dude.
which is great.
I mean-
I'm not. That's why I
Yeah.
can't even regret it. Like I made money. How can I be $4,000 is great. I mean, how can I be mad at that?
Yeah.
Compared to what would have been painful.
Hey, but you
but
hey, but you didn't lose.
I didn't
That's good.
lose. Green Day is a Green Day.
Green Day's a Green
Don't
Day.
ever forget that.
Yeah.
So yes, to answer your question, and this is where I want to go with this. If you have money,
Mm-hmm.
this is not like spending money. I mean, like if you have money that's just going to be sitting there and you're not going to touch it for a while anyway, it should be in an account that can grow.
Yeah.
Whether that's individual stocks like Tesla or Apple or Microsoft or Google or anything, you can whatever you want. Those are a little more risky because they're individual companies and those fluctuate more than if you bought. There's things called ETFs or mutual funds. It's basically, think of it as like one company that owns a bunch of different ones. They manage your money for you. It's like a market money account, a money market account. They'll buy like a little bit of Apple and a little bit of Tesla and a little bit of whatever else. I don't know, a little bit of Elgato. They just went public actually.
Wow.
Coursera, I actually made a good amount of money on them too. Whatever.
Like, dude, a relevant podcast is gonna be the next big thing.
No, dude, no, we're not going public ever.
No, I'm saying
But-
the Elgato mics on the podcast.
Oh, hey, dude. Well, I mean, I like to invest in things I believe in. Like from a core perspective, I invest in products that I think are great and that they are useful and are changing the world and helping people. So Corsair owns Microsoft. Owns Elgato. I was like, oh wow, they really upgraded there. They own Elgato, and they went public. They're a publicly traded company about a month ago. They're up 80%,
Damn.
which is fantastic. And I bought them at IPO. But I bought them because I was like, I use Elgato all the time. And this has nothing to do with the fact that they're sponsoring this episode, but like we use their products and they're good products. And I know a lot of people who use them, and Corsair owns them. So I was like, I'm going to put some investment into them because I believe in their company. I believe in their products.
Yeah.
And I know people are continuing to buy them. So yes, put your money and I can show you. So
Apparently, you can do it online.
you can, it's so easy.
My mom was like, "You can do it online." 'Cause
It's
she,
so
she
easy,
knows.
dude.
She knows that she knows me.
So
She's
this
like,
is what I wanna tell you.
I love like doing things online because
Oh, dude, that's
Anybody
that's
does.
the way to do. Like, you don't have to go to a bank or anything. None of that shit. This is why this is blowing up right now, dude. I love this stuff. I'm telling you, this is blowing up right now.
what's blowing up? Explain.
Investment at an early age? Like, I'm telling you, Robinhood. This is not sponsored by Robinhood at all. I wish it was. Robinhood is an app
Yeah.
that's free on your phone, and you can trade in the stock market for free.
Okay, I've
Okay,
downloaded. By
that
the way,
is-
I've downloaded this app.
Yes.
Matt made me download it.
I've actually had it since it was in beta.
I think I've had it before, but I've just never done anything with it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people may have heard of it, but don't really know what it is. I'm telling you, this app is changing the game because previously, if you wanted to put your money in a money market or invest in a stock, you'd have to pay a trade fee. You had to pay like $10 to buy it for like a broker to execute you buying that stock.
Okay.
So you have to go on like an E-Trade or Vanguard or like a trading platform and pay someone a fee, like an execution fee, to buy that stock. And then you own the stock, and then when you sell it, you pay them too. Robinhood said, screw the fees, screw all that. We're going to make an app. You can go on your phone right now, and in 3 clicks, I can buy a stock for free. I don't got to pay anything when I buy it. I don't got to pay anything when I sell it. Boom, I'm in there, right?
How
Here's
can you
my
buy it for
account.
free? I don't understand that.
So like, there's no fee to purchase a share. Historically, there's been a
Oh,
like a
you mean
fee.
you mean buy it for free, not with an extra
No,
fee
no,
on
so
it from
right. There's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
extra
yeah,
fee
okay,
to
okay.
purchase, like to
I
transact.
thought you were just saying like, oh, I just got a stock from.
Well, I mean, we can also do that too. Like, you can technically get one for free.
Yeah, you get one apparently for like for just signing up for the first
Yeah.
time through a friend or something. You get a
Right. So they do that, like their referral program, and I'll put it on the screen now. And for those of you listening, you just go to join.robinhood.com/MattC32. That's my invite link, and I'll throw it up there.
not sponsored by
Not
the
at
way.
all. There's no payment. Basically, what happens for that is when you download the app, you get a stock for free. And this is totally free. Like, it'll give you generally it's like a $5 to $10 stock.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get an Apple or Lucky, like a $200 stock, and then you own that stock for free. And then we'll also get a stock for free. So, I mean, you could try it out if you want to. I'd recommend it. You can see what it's all about.
I mean, I downloaded it.
We should do it for yours. You have it, right? You have it
Okay,
downloaded?
do you want me to do it right now?
Yeah, I want you to pull it up, and I want you to I want to show them how it works, basically.
Okay. All right,
Um,
so I've opened the app. All right.
do a screen recording so I can throw it on the video version of this. So for you guys listening, JC is going to walk you through for the audio part of this, and I highly recommend if you do want to do this and check it out, come to the YouTube channel. It's a relevant YouTube channel, and watch this happen. It's fun. It's exciting. It's cool. The reason I think this is such a big deal is
Yeah.
because it took, like you thought, something that's historically like confusing and difficult, and if you don't know anything about it, you're like, I don't know how to, like, the barrier to entry is hard. This is so easy to use. It's an app that's totally in tune with like the younger generation. It's free. It's so easy to use. It's unbelievable.
So okay, I'm recording the screen now.
Boom.
So I'm on the main page. I'm getting Twitch notifications. That's hilarious.
Nice.
But so it says free stock at the top. So I'm guessing that's because DC might have
Yeah. So whoever
got me to
invited
download
you.
this before. So I have free stock. Do I press this?
Yeah. So press it, and then you should be able to.
Oh wait, invite a friend, get free. Oh, maybe I can't do this.
Where was your free stock from before?
I don't know, dude.
You lost it?
I don't know.
Do you want me to see if I can find it?
Yeah, see if you can find it.
Well, it already happened.
Wait, it already happened?
Yeah, I think we messed it up. It already gave it to you. So you can see right here, he's got $4.05 in his account, but that's because he owns one share of Limelight Networks.
What is that?
I wish you could have seen like what happens, but basically, once you accept the invite from a friend, it'll have 3 different cards. You can pick one. It's like a scratch off, kind of like you pick one, and then it gives you. It's just a visual thing, but it gives you whatever stock you get.
So I have.
So you own one share of Limelight Networks. So you can tomorrow you can go and I think it might be 3 days actually to wait. You can go and sell that on Monday when the market opens. You can go and sell it, and you have $4 you can put in your bank account if you want to, or you can hold on to it and see if it
Okay,
goes
wait.
up
So I
anywhere.
actually gain money from just downloading this app.
Yes, that's why I'm saying like
Why? That's crazy.
it is. Which is why I'm saying if
This
you're
sounds like
watching
one of
this,
those like sponsor videos on YouTube where like people are like you can make money doing
yeah,
this.
but this
and
is
then-
not like
Yeah.
like I don't want to make this seem like it's some sketchy thing because it's not. This is like it's just a way for
They
them
just
to
give you a
continue
free
to grow
stock, yeah.
because they're still relatively new. They've only been around for like 5-6 years, but I've been with them since the beta. But that's what I'm saying. If you're watching this episode, if you're listening to this episode, I highly recommend you do it because it's truly free money.
Yeah.
You can sell the stock right away and just take the money if you want to, or you can let it stay there and potentially have it grow. Fun fact: the first one I got when I got invited to it was a stock called Digital Turbine.
Okay.
It was worth $1.30 when I got it, right? So it's worth like nothing. It's now worth $42 a share.
Damn.
A couple years later, which is not a lot when it's one share, right? You only made $40. It's worth $40 more now. But if you had 100 shares, it's $4,000 more.
That's the thing. That's what's so crazy. It's like if it's almost like I don't want to say gambling, but it's like there's. I can see why you like playing poker now. Like I can see it because there's that element of like
Traces of similarity between the two things.
But how come this isn't frowned upon as much as like
So-
gambling is? Because like if we play poker, like somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, you're playing poker."
Yeah.
But-
No, this is a great point. I'm glad you brought it up. I'm
But
glad
it's-
you
it's
noticed it without me saying
It's
it.
interesting because like, all right, I've known Matt for a couple years now in person. Like it took me a while to meet you guys, but all the time, like whether it was at the Z House randomly, just some night or something, or like we play like between buds, like just play like
It's poker, right?
it was like $5. We just put like $5 in or something.
Oh yeah, a couple dollars.
Yeah.
$20, $5.
It was
something like
mainly
that.
we weren't like playing real poker. It was more just
No,
like
just for fun.
And Matt just loves that stuff though. Like I just know he loves it.
Yeah.
Like deep down, like I just see it in his eye. There was somewhere we went to a casino somewhere. I don't remember.
It was
where
Canada,
it was.
I think.
Was it Canada?
Yeah.
We went to a casino, and I remember Lex put down. I think we all were like, all right, we're gonna. And for me, I'm like this goody two shoes. Like I don't like my parents would kill me. I don't want to say this is gambling. This is not gambling. This is very
Right.
different.
We'll get to that. I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, but my parents like probably would hate the idea of me going to a casino. Probably, they'd probably just be like, "Why are you doing that, Jordan?" Like,
Yeah.
What,
Well,
why are you doing
gambling's
that?
a dangerous road.
Yeah, that's really So I thought it was funny being in that environment with you guys, and just I'll be like, all right, I'll use this whatever it was, like $50 or something that I was gonna do that night or whatever. And I remember Lex the whole night was just like, no, I'm not gonna play anything. I'm gonna wait. And we were all playing blackjack, I think, because that's just fun.
Yeah.
At the casino or whatever. I'm not playing poker at a casino. Heck no.
Yeah.
I'm too scared.
I only play blackjack at the casino.
Yeah. But Lex wouldn't play. He just refused to play because Lex is like that chaotic energy at all
Yeah.
times, except he was being like laid
Reserved.
back. It was
Yeah.
weird. It was super weird. It's like when it came to that stuff, he was just like, no, not doing it. I'm going to put it all on black at the end. And he did. And I don't even remember how much he put down. I think it might have been like 100.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to put 100 on black. And that was it. And he won.
Anyone?
And he got 200.
Yeah.
And I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
This man sat here for like 2 hours tonight, did nothing, but just watched.
It's impressive.
And
Smart man, because he would have lost it all before that if he didn't do that. That's how it goes.
okay, explain. What is the difference between, like, why is there a social, explain. Why is there like a social stigma against gambling? Which obviously I think it's kind of justified because you can lose
Yeah.
yourself in gambling. essentially. Like, what's the difference
Well-
between that and like me going, well, this Limelight Networks or whatever, I'm going to put $300 down on this right now.
Right.
And if it goes up next week, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I made a little bit more money, right?
Well, I mean, that right there would pretty much be gambling, more or less.
So what you're saying is it can, if you're not careful,
you don't go into this being like, oh, I'm just going to throw as much money on something and hope it works out for the best. That's
Yeah.
not typically, and unfortunately, that's happening now because of this app. I feel like that's happening
that's like
because it's so easy. The barrier to entry is so easy now.
Okay.
But don't do that. Please don't do that. Because that is gambling.
Yeah.
And the reason that gambling is frowned upon, at least in my opinion, it's
Also, I'm going to stop the screen recording.
yeah, you probably should stop that. It's like associated with drinking and smoking and
Yeah.
like Vegas life. Like that's why gambling, I think, has got a bad
Still never been to
connotation
Vegas.
to it.
Want to go?
Oh, we'll go.
Yeah.
But the reason gambling is so dangerous is because it's like I don't know if it's like the chemicals in your brain or whatever, but when you lose and you're like, oh, I'll just double down and I can get it back, you get down a rabbit hole real quick like
Yeah.
that. And it's an ugly place to go. But for investing, you don't want to just throw money on something and hope it works out. The idea with this is you at least learn about what the company you're investing in, you understand what they do, or you there's a reason you're investing in a company. And this is why a money market account makes so much sense, is like you don't have to worry about that if you don't want to. If you're doing a day job and you just want to put your money somewhere safe, they will manage it for you. It's like a company essentially, or a fund basically, that's run by people that do this all the time. Like this is their job, and their job is to make the most money for that fund. And then if people invest in the fund, their money grows as well, right? Because you're technically investing in a bunch of other company like
You're
stocks.
not really at risk of losing in a money market account.
No, you're always at risk, but not a big amount at all. Like these people, like historically, you can look at their fund accounts and see
Yeah.
what they've done historically, and generally speaking, they're always going up. Like they'll go down sometimes, but over the course of long periods of time, like 2, 4, 10 years,
Yeah.
they're going to continually going up. Otherwise, people would never put their money
so
in there.
weird to me. That concept is so weird. Like I would feel so scared to put my money into something like that when there's like a slight risk or something.
And that's the same thing that Jess has voiced to me too. Is like I'm scared of losing. Like I'd rather just have it and not have to
Yeah.
worry about losing it. But this is
But
the
you're
difference
saying-
between
you're saying-
gambling and not. Like you.
Yeah.
If you're gonna just throw money at the wall and hope that it goes up quickly and it doesn't, then you could lose money because you panic and you pull it out. This is not like that. You want to put your money in and plan for it to be there for a long period of time. You want it to be in there for years, where it's going to keep growing over time. And even if there's,
Bro,
even if
we
something
keep
happens,
we keep talking about these like 5-year plans, dude. What has happened
that's
in the last
investing
year?
though. Like that's the difference between investing and gambling. Is you're planning for your future. You're planning for your money to make money while you're sleeping, to grow over time, so that when you want to go get it, or you're not necessarily retirement, but like later on, if you want to buy a house, your $20,000 is now $150,000, and you can take it out and buy a house. That's the whole point, as opposed to it sitting there and still being $20,000.
Damn.
So Robinhood makes that super easy to do, because it's for like millennials and Gen
And
Z.
you think
like,
that's why it's like the talking about investing and stuff is blowing up because of apps like Robinhood, essentially?
I think
Well,
amongst
what
younger
made us
people,
talk about this today, basically?
because it might not be mainstream yet, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be. It's starting to pick up. I see it on YouTube. I see it on social media, but people aren't playing Robinhood, and like the stuff that I'm seeing on social is not as much like long-term investment. It can be, but it's a lot of people doing shorter trades, like day trading and swing trading and option trading, which I don't want to get into because
Yeah.
it's very it's
That already
way
confuses
too
me.
confusing. But it's basically short term. It's like Tesla's worth $100 today. I buy 10 shares of Tesla. So I put $1,000 into Tesla today. Tomorrow, Tesla's worth 150, this is just totally theoretical.
Yeah.
Now my $1,000 is worth 1,500. I'm gonna sell it all.
Okay.
So I made $500 in one day. Then on Friday, Tesla goes down to $50 a share. I take my 1,500 and put it in there, and I own whatever. Let's just say it's 100 shares.
See, this is kind of like what I think of. Like, this is where my mind goes when you talk about investing. Is that
It's confusing.
no? I think of like the
Like
day.
playing the short game.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
So people do that as a profession. Like they day trade and swing trade. Like play the short movements. from day to day or hour to hour, minute to minute even. Like that's a way more, and that's becoming a thing too. Like if you go on YouTube and just look up, I don't know, anything related to stocks, a lot of younger people are doing that. And this is a good example. My cousin, I showed him Robinhood last year just to give him the free stock, right? Because he was like asking what we were talking about.
Yeah, and you wanted the free stock.
Oh, no, of course I wanted the free stock. Why not? But he was asking about it. So he got one. Turn around to this year, he trades options. He bought a Disney call, it's like an option contract.
Okay.
Like right when the pandemic started, around March. He made like $2,000 on it in a month. Like absurd. Like he put in $150 and made $2,000 on $150.
So he bought when the pandemic hit.
Pretty much, yeah. He
'Cause he-
bought right when Disney was way down,
When Disney was like closing.
and now it's gotten back up because everything's rebounded a bit.
yeah.
And his I think he might have sold it. I don't know if he did or not, but it's worth. He made like $2,000 on a $150 investment. And I want to preface that by saying that's super rare, very unlikely to happen. But that is where it's like gambling, because you're taking like a little bit of a $150 risk. He could have lost all of it, and it turned a huge profit for him.
Yeah.
And if you're really good and you really know what you're doing, you can kind of do that consistently enough where you can make it a full-time job. Super. I don't want to say you can just pick that up tomorrow and do it, because you can't. And even if you've done this for years, you'll still lose money sometimes. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Because you can't predict the market. You just can't. You have no idea what's going to happen. But when you invest long term, you don't have to worry about all that shit. Like that's not what the purpose it is. It's like you're putting your money in. It's good over time. It will grow.
Dude, I can tell you're so passionate
Oh, I'm
about this.
so passionate about this shit. You've no idea, dude. This is exactly why I wanted to do this podcast, because I can talk about this. I can talk about things I like to talk about.
I'm just sitting here like, whoa.
I'm probably overloading everyone's minds right now that doesn't know anything about this, but
No, it's cool. It's cool. Like hearing the story. Like when you say the stories about it, that's when it's more tangible. And I can
Relatable, right?
understand it more, because I get what you mean. Like it makes sense. Like when the pandemic hit, Disney was probably
yeah, because all their
and
stuff, all their
had
parks
to come
closed
back
down,
some, right? So
and then things have rebounded a
Yeah.
bit as you know, as it's gone along. But that's it, dude. Like this year especially has been crazy with COVID. Like
Oh, yeah,
oh my
it's
god,
just-
the market's been all like this past week with the election, the market was up like, and when I say the market, I mean like the brand, the whole market as a whole, was up like 7% in a
Jesus.
week, which might not sound like a lot. That's insane.
yeah, no,
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's so much money. If your whole portfolio, just imagine all the money you have right now at home, anyone, going up by 7%. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot in 1 week. That's a lot. We'll see what happens on Monday, because now that Biden's been elected, who knows what will happen. I mean, the politics side of things really does affect the market a lot. But my whole purpose with this is I wanted to talk to you, like teach you a little bit about it, but also for people at home. Doesn't matter what age you are, when you have some money that you don't need to use, like sitting on the side, and you want to start building towards the future, this is a great way to do it. Investing in smart, reliable companies, or putting it in an ETF or like a mutual fund that does all that work for you is a smart thing to do.
So that the MTF is what my mom's talking about.
MTF, yeah, MTF,
MTF, Is that
ETF.
ETF.
Yeah, ETF.
ETF,
is probably
okay.
what it'd be. But it's
See, I
it's
don't-
all
I
the
don't know
same
the
thing. Like
acronyms
so,
of it.
like a retirement account.
Yeah.
I'm sure people have heard of the 401k, like retirement
Yeah,
fund.
yeah.
It's all the same thing. More, I mean, there's different tax benefits with certain ones. Like a retirement account, you put money into it, they manage it, it grows, but you can't take the money out until you're 59 and a half or a certain age, or you have to pay penalties and taxes on it. But that's the whole point, is that you don't pay tax on the retirement accounts.
Dude,
but you can
I realized this is the age difference right here, guys. Like this is the stuff that I'm like just now being
yeah.
like exposed to a little bit.
And I think
Because I was in college. I was in Alabama as
Right.
well. Things are way cheaper there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. School wasn't, but was very fortunate to be able to not have student loans.
huge thing. Great that you got out of school without having to pay any
Having
debt.
being able to do YouTube during all that, and Twitch saved that a lot, which super happy about. But I would say something else we want. I mean, I don't know, like what it's hard for me to even know what topics to like hit on this, because it's just so I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot of different categories we could talk about. But something my dad has always talked about is building credit and how important that is.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one thing I have done well, because, and I don't even know how to explain this properly, but like ever since I was like, I guess I must have been in high school, I guess, but my dad he was like, we got to build your credit, Jordan. We got to do it. We got to build your credit right now. And he just, he knew how important
When you were in
that
high
was.
school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good time. Smart.
yeah,
Dad fire smart.
He's a smart guy. He really is. And dude, I would love to have him on this podcast.
That'd be so
funny.
great.
Can you imagine? We could ask him so many questions.
It
about
would be
life.
great. I've actually never got to meet him in person yet, so
true.
I really want to meet him.
That'd be great.
So yeah,
But something that I was telling you before we started the episode today is that he got us he got me like a credit card really early on. I feel like a lot of people, especially, maybe times are changing now, but where I came from, like I had a debit card, but I didn't have like a credit card. Like I just didn't really have a credit card. Now I use a credit card because I actually want to build credit and stuff. But I didn't really understand that concept too much back then. And I remember it was like a credit card that he could use and I could use. And I don't even know how that works. You might be able to explain that to me a little bit. But like, I think it was like a joint name or something. It was like, it had my name on it, but then also he could use it. I don't know. It's like, maybe it's like the same account or something.
Yeah.
It's like a family
that's
thing.
nothing too crazy.
I don't know. But I did that for a while. And, anytime we had to do something for, I don't know, like a camera or something for YouTube or something, we would use that card because it would help build my credit.
Right.
And I don't know, like how important do you think is that for people to think about, like in I don't know, just age wise? Like, is that something like, I don't know, when did you start thinking about credit?
So similar story to you. When I was in high school, my mom said, you need to get a credit card because the earlier you start building credit, the better.
Right. That's exactly what he said. Yeah.
Because you can't hurt it. I mean, it's really no different than a debit card, other than you are not paying it directly from your account until later on when you decide to pay it from your account.
And you're building credit in the process.
Right. So so like you're basically taking out a quick loan basically, and then you have to pay back to the credit card company whatever you bought from the credit card. But the reason you do that, when you buy a house, for example, you have to have credit. People need to know,
or
companies
car.
need to know, or a car or any other large asset. They need to know that you are going to pay back whatever you owe on time.
Credit is essentially, if I can say this right without sounding stupid, but credit is essentially you are good at paying things, right? Is that essentially what it's saying?
Keep paying back loans, paying back what you owe.
Yeah, it's like, and if you pay on time, and don't delay and all that kind of stuff, you're gonna have good credit consistently.
Exactly. It just shows that you are reliable at paying back what you owe.
Yeah,
on time.
So in some ways, like say, all right, let me preface this question. All right, say you want to buy a car, right? All right, let's say you want to buy a car. Okay, is it better to spend money? Okay, how do I word this? Is it better to
buy it on a credit card?
No. Don't think about credit card, but is it better to get a loan for the car
or lease it?
I'm like confused on what terminology it is. Okay, is it better? All right, say someone has the money. I don't, but say somebody has the money to just buy a car outright.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm gonna spend
in cash,
like 20, 30K on this car or whatever, and just buy it and own it. Is it better to actually say no, don't do that, and do an actual financing plan? Because that way, if you pay it on time every month, you're building credit, right? Essentially. Is that wrong?
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
So is it like better to do that?
Not even just credit cards that you can build credit with. You can build credit with any kind of loan or payment you owe. Like a car payment.
So would it be better to start from doing payments and then not buy it outright if you had the ability to? This is not me, by the way. I can't buy a car outright.
So this one's a little more. I'll try to make it really.
This is such a weird question, but
I understand what you're saying.
I'm curious, like how that works, because like if you want to constantly build credit and have a better credit, wouldn't you want to go the route of being like,
Well,
oh,
yeah,
well,
but
I know
you're gonna. So okay. So if you buy the car, let's say it's $20,000. You buy the car with $20,000 in cash.
Yeah.
You're done. That's it. You don't owe anyone anything. You pay $20,000 for the car.
I hope I don't look so stupid. I'm
No,
really
you
young,
don't.
guys.
You don't. This is a really great question actually, because it's actually kind of a confusing answer. I'd say.
Yeah.
If you buy it, if you finance it,
Yeah.
let's just say let's make it really simple, $1,000 down. Now you owe $19,000 on the car, and you're going to pay that over, I don't know, let's say 4 years.
Right.
That's your car loan, right? Your car payment.
Yeah.
It breaks down to, I have no idea what the number is. Doesn't really matter. It breaks down to, let's just say it's $100 a month. Okay.
Okay.
But in your loan, you're never going to have a loan really that doesn't have interest on it. So let's just say your
True.
car loan is 4% interest. That's probably somewhere reasonable. Now, instead of paying the $100 per month, you owe $104, right? For
Yeah.
the 4%. So every month they're going to be paying $4 more than you would have paid if you just bought it in cash.
So really it is the choice of, do I want to pay actually more for my car at the end of the day,
True.
but because I'm paying,
But it's not as simple as that.
okay.
You'll pay more if you get a loan and you finance it.
Yeah.
But let's just say you want to pay it over the course of time when you'll make more money, right? It's easier to pay it over time because you'll be making more money as you
True.
go, or you'll have more funds available.
Okay.
So that's one thing. It's a little easier. The other thing, and this is where the investing thing really comes into play. If your investments yield more return, like if you make more percentage back on your investments than your 4% of car payment on your loan, then you want to do a financing plan.
Explain that a little bit more.
So, okay. I'm trying to make this really easy to understand. Because basically at that point it's free money.
Okay.
Let's say you have $20,000 total to your name.
Okay. 20K.
$20K. You can
that's a
put
lot.
$20K towards the car and own the car,
Yeah.
and now you have
I
$0.
could buy it outright.
Buy it
just have the
outright.
car.
So you own the car, but you have $0.
Yeah.
Or you put $1,000 to the car and you still have $19,000, and you put the $19,000 into an investment. Then your investment's making you money and you pay down the car, but you're only paying 4%, but your investment's yielding you 6% or 8%. So now you're plus 4% every month. Well, not every month. It's every year, really. Right? As long as your investments are yielding you more return than your debts cost you, then I'd usually say it's a good idea to take out the loan for the car, like the car payment, finance it. Because instead of having $20,000 that you just spent on the car, now you have growing over 4 years. You might have $30,000 by the end of 4 years. It's probably more than that, honestly. You might have I don't know. Let's just say it's $30,000 over 4 years, and you pay off the car. Now you have extra money after you
Dude,
pay
you
off
just
the car.
completely big brain this whole question.
That's it, dude.
I love it.
I try to
That
make that
mindset.
simple, but that's it.
No, I totally
a lot of
understand you.
people don't know that, don't understand that at all. But this is coming
sense.
from my accountant parents. I didn't know that until
they do accounting work?
yeah.
Oh,
I didn't understand that
now it
until
makes sense.
2 years ago. I just figured that out, and I'm like, that makes so much sense.
So it's essentially, I could buy the car outright if I had the 20K.
Yep.
But if I do the loan, then I can, at the end of the day, use some of that money that I'm not using currently to invest and yield better return.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
But usually, yes.
If you're just
Over time, yes.
over a longer period of time
Right.
like that, say 4 or 5 years, right?
Right.
So yeah,
So,
I
that-
totally get that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you'd be making you have
That's exactly that
Yeah.
scenario is almost essentially what I did with my car. I could have bought it outright,
yeah.
but I put down like a fourth of what it costs, and I'm paying a monthly payment every month. But I kept all that extra money in my investments
Yeah.
that are right now yielding a lot more than the 4% I'm paying. Because this year's been great.
Yeah.
Overall.
See, we talked a little bit about car stuff because wanting a car
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
But so I've had this is a really good conversation because it's like foreshadowing my brain a little bit
Yeah.
of what I want to do.
So yeah,
But,
I would say finance if you're going to invest the rest of it.
yeah. Okay, so I don't know if y'all can hear that, but
They
the
probably can't.
live studio audience is playing Mario Kart right now downstairs.
Downstairs.
We really need a studio.
Yeah, we do. What are we at? Like about an hour and 10.
All right.
Do you even want to go into crypto? Crypto is a whole other.
We can cap it off with crypto.
All right, cap it off. Then we'll go to Q&A.
We'll move the Q&A. And if you think we talked about it enough.
Oh yeah. Unless you have any other questions,
Dude, I mean, I'm always down to talk about this because it's interesting to me. I think for someone to start doing this, do you think start on Robinhood, get accustomed to like something like that, and get accustomed to how like trading works and all that kind of thing, and then you just kind of go from there, basically?
If you're brand new to this, like for you, right?
Yeah,
You're brand new.
I'm just thinking of like somebody who's like really intrigued, who's watching or listening.
I think so. With anything with involving your money, you don't want to just like take one opinion and just throw it out there. I would
Right.
say, ask your parents about it a little bit. Maybe watch a couple of YouTube videos, learning about things, how it works and stuff. Because you're not going to learn
What's up,
it.
guys?
You're not going to learn it all from me doing videos.
I'm just saying like
Watching
it's
a-
like I want to learn about money. Hey, what's up, guys? We're gonna teach you how to make some
Dude,
money.
it's a
today.
thing. Those my brother watches this one guy like a ton, but I would say do some more research, like learn about it. But yes, I think Robinhood, if I had to give my input, is the easiest way to do it. It's just really
It's a
easy
good
to
way to
understand.
learn.
It's a really good way
Yeah.
to learn. It's easy to understand. Again, if you're using your own money, it's real money. It's not for play. It's not something you want to just try out with a lot of your
Don't
money.
do it to like gamble.
I would
and
don't
anything
do it like that. I would say even if you have like $100.
Yeah.
That's all you have right now. You're a teenager and you have a couple of $100 in your bank account and you want to try it with $100. You can put your $100 in Robinhood, buy something that's more stable. Like Apple is great. Apple, I think, is probably the easiest one you can buy if you want to buy just one stock to start, because this is even further into things, but like it pays a dividend. So every year, however many shares you own, they'll pay you like a couple dollars back or a couple cents for every share you own just for owning it,
Dang.
regardless of whatever the price does. And Apple has historically always pretty much gone up over the years.
Yeah.
And they also pay dividends. So even if it does nothing over the year, they're going to pay you $2, $3 for every share you own of their stock. And some stocks.
So you're
do that.
saying like kind of with them, you make money a lot, right? Or
Apple, the reason I say with them
It's
is because they're
stable.
such a stable
Yeah, it's
company.
stable.
They are by and by one of the most stable companies, one of the biggest
you'll
companies.
get a few dollars here or there, probably, right? Is that what you're saying?
You can't really go wrong with Apple, in my opinion. Of course, it can always go down. That's always a thing. Or you do like the money market, and you put it into an ETF or mutual fund that owns a ton of different things, and they manage what they own, and they change that day to day or month to month or whatever, and they have to worry about that, and that's much more stable. Like super, you won't see like crazy returns, but you're also very unlikely to see your money
Yeah,
drop
you're
at
gonna
any
see-
given
you're
point.
probably gonna see
It's
some
gonna, over time, it will
slow
go up.
gain.
It
Yeah.
should go up.
Gotcha.
Unless there's some massive crash, which hasn't happened in over 100 years. So
Gotcha. I mean, it's a good place to start. Like that, you explained that pretty well.
yeah.
So what about crypto?
crypto, dude?
Cryptocurrency.
This is gonna just like totally change the mood here. Crypto is the next. Nah, it's not.
Whoa.
In terms of return on investment, I believe crypto has the potential to do what Tesla just did. I think over the next year, I said this on Twitter a couple of days ago. I think Bitcoin hit $16,000 per Bitcoin 2 days ago. So each Bitcoin was worth 16,000 US dollars. It's a little bit lower than that now. I think in the next year you'll see it hit $100,000. That's about 10x. It's a little less.
You think in the next year?
Next year.
That's your prediction.
That's not my prediction. That is people that I watch, things that I've seen, knowing what I know. That's my prediction. Could be totally wrong. Could be totally right. But I've put my money where my mouth is. So,
Are we gonna come back a year from now and you're gonna be like, dude?
well, let me tell you this much. I will feel a lot better about the Tesla thing if this one goes right. But Bitcoin is, contrary to investments, it is much more risky.
I don't even understand what Bitcoin is. Like, I genuinely don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
It's
to me.
this digitally,
But that makes no sense.
but no one controls it. It is decentralized. It is controlled by it's controlled by no one. No one has the authority to be like, I'm going to print more of these. No one has the authority to be like, this is worth less than 100
was it
now.
like gold? Like, what do you mean?
It's like digital gold almost.
Digital gold?
Kind of.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, even people are like, oh,
Yeah.
go get gold and not money.
Yeah, but it's a little more complex than that. Like, You can earn. You ever heard of people mining Bitcoin?
Yeah.
People basically will have these computers, essentially. They're not really computers, but they're computers, miners, that process the transactions of Bitcoin from one person to another. And in return, the Bitcoin network or Ethereum, the network will give them some Bitcoin. They'll reward them with money for helping the network process the transactions. Bitcoin is going to be a thing in the future. I don't know. It's very hard to conceptualize and grasp what Bitcoin is. And I might be doing a terrible job of explaining it because I don't fully understand it myself.
So are you saying like this is like the future of, okay.
I don't know if it's the future, but there's definitely a place for it.
All right. This is some big brain thoughts
Oh,
here.
God.
Okay. But you know how like when you see like a
Takes off his glasses for it.
Yeah, when you see like a futuristic movie
Yeah.
or something, and people are like buying things with like not money, like they're not using dollars, they're not using anything like that. They're using like a digital credit currency. Is that what you're kind of getting at? Is like what it's like something like that? You're just gonna have this digital currency, or no?
Yeah, I don't think like traditional currency is going anywhere anytime soon at all. But Bitcoin's definitely, cryptocurrency in general is definitely becoming a thing. Like in other countries where their national currency is like useless, it's like got no value because their country's in shambles. Bitcoin is like the way that people transact. It's like what the market runs off of. Like what people trade off of, like they'll pay in Bitcoin instead of paying in whatever their currency is. Not dollar, but like I don't know. I can't even give you an example like yen. That's Japan, but like a third world country, like a smaller country, they're using cryptocurrency as their currency because it's the biggest way to. It's just got so many. It's so different
Like
than
an onion.
cash.
There's so many layers.
There is. Well, it's like it's decentralized. Like no one controls it. No one owns it. There's never going to be like there's 18 million or 21 million Bitcoin. There will never be more. Once they're all gone, like once someone owns all of them, that's
really?
it.
Wait, what?
Yeah. But like, so I think there's 18 million that are owned currently, and there's 21 million total that will ever exist in eternity. So once they're all gone,
That makes no sense. to me.
it's confusing. Once everyone has them, that's it. Like you can exchange them, but there'll never be more made. Like the dollar, you can print more dollars.
But
You can't
but then
print
the
more.
value
Bitcoin
goes down.
it's programmed that it's never going to be more than there is.
So the value never goes down.
So once they're all gone, the value in theory should shoot up because there's never going to be more of them. Like if you have one, you have one. If you don't, you have to go get one.
Well, how did this start?
I don't even know. I don't even know I don't know the origin story, but like I'm not even sure that there's a clear person that started this. But it's like an algorithm essentially. Like it's a digitally programmed thing.
It's like us in the future created.
It's nuts, dude. It's nuts. But they won't all be owned until I think it's 2140. Like it's another 120 years before they'll all be mined. Every 4 years, I can just keep going, dude. It's
Dude,
so,
when you say mind, I physically like
People are like-
I think of like Minesweeper or something, and like people are like mining some sort of digital cash.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
what does that mean?
it's mining's literally just it's like I said, it's like a computer that's processing the transactions. So instead of like a bank saying like, oh, I give my bank $100 and now my bank has $100 in it.
You make it sound like the bitcoins aren't found,
It's hard to
when you
conceptualize
say
because they're
mine-
not. There's no physical thing. It's just.
but you make
It's
it you
digital.
You make it sound like it's like a
That's just what it's called. I
Easter.
don't know.
You make it sound like it's like an Easter egg, or
Like you
something.
found one?
It's like some digital goodie that is like hidden in the internet, and you got to find it, and then that's how you that's how you acquire money. That's
how you acquire.
You have to find the Easter egg of the internet,
and then you get. It's like tokens. It's like tokens in a game. They're currency,
I
and you
don't
can exchange them, but they're not physical. Like you can't physically touch them.
I swear, I think we could have another podcast probably about
Crypto.
crypto.
It's
because
so much
I
more
don't-
confusing.
I don't. The other stuff I get. Like when you explain it, it makes a lot of sense. Like why you should be
crypto's way
doing it and
more
everything.
abstract.
But crypto, like, I still don't get it. Like that
All
still blows my mind.
I'll say, because like, I don't think it really matters that much for this. I think the investing part of it is way more important and way more
Yeah, cryptocurrency,
relatable
that's
and
some-
important. But crypto, like, I do think it's going to pop. And if you have any interest in that kind of stuff,
Look up more.
you
about
can
it.
actually invest in crypto on Robinhood.
Really, you can do
Yeah,
that now.
it's all on there. Yep. They don't have every. They have Bitcoin. They have the main ones, the main coins. So you could do that on there too if you want to. I would advise learning about it more before you go into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've put a fair amount of money into buying Bitcoin over the last 6 months.
Damn. I remember when it like
believe in it.
shot up that one time, like really wildly.
Also, in 2017, it hit 20,000.
Yeah.
In March of this year, I'll never forget it because I totally missed an opportunity. It was at $3,800 per Bitcoin. That's it. It's now 16,000.
What the hell?
And I think by end of 2021, sometime in the next year, it will hit over 100,000.
Damn, that is insane.
That's like, that's how like it goes nuts. Like it was at 16,000 yesterday. It's
Yeah.
at 14,000 today. Like it goes wild.
That was a good talk, though.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Thank you for
That was
teaching
fun.
me about
That
finance.
was a lot of
need
fun.
to-
I got to finally talk about
Let
it.
me give you some money.
Thank you,
for
bro.
your troubles.
Oh, thank you. Fake money for my time.
Thank you for explaining how I can get rich,
Get rich quick.
even though
JK,
we're
it doesn't work that
irrelevant.
way. Very irrelevant.
But I will definitely check out Robinhood.
Yeah,
That's a good place.
I would
to
definitely
start.
say if you're watching out there, you have any interest, check it out. Again, the code is join.robinhood.com/MattC32. What I think we're gonna do is if you guys sign up, you get your free stocks, have fun, do whatever you want with it. Any money that we get, I'd like to continue to improve the set.
That'd be cool.
So that's the plan.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, let's get into these Q&A questions.
All right, the Q&A time, everybody. I'm gonna let me talk about the Q&A questions. But let me lead them since you led the whole
Lead
money
it in
talk.
there.
Oh shoot. Okay, we have a question from Danio saying, podcast question: what was your guys' passion before YouTube? Did you guys have any career ideas that you would have pursued if it wasn't for content creation? So basically, I think Danio is asking, what would we have done? Let's just say YouTube and all this just wasn't the thing that we ended up doing. What did we have an original goal or original passion that happened before this? You start.
I think it's tough because mine kind of blended into YouTube. It's video, making videos, like creative.
I feel like that's too similar.
It is. It really is because it's like that's what YouTube is.
Yeah.
But YouTube really is a platform for making videos. So that kind of how it led to that. But I don't know. Probably something creative. I mean, I don't want to say video, but that's what it was, dude. I was making little like stupid videos well before I was doing
Yeah.
YouTube. So, and we're also doing video production now. So like I kind of am doing a different career in a way, but we're also doing YouTube. It's kind of hand in hand.
Yeah.
If I didn't do that, something in finance, maybe. Like if I had something if
You'd follow
none
in
of
the
the creative
family
stuff worked
footsteps?
out, no, not an accountant. Hell no. Like they're great what they do, but like
Dude, I can just imagine you with like glasses on, just being like,
something, dude. If this all goes to shit someday for some reason, or YouTube just never worked out, I think I would have pursued something in finance.
okay.
Don't know what, but you could tell by that whole conversation, it's very interesting
You're
to
very
me.
passionate about it.
I've always been phenomenal at math, and I love it. I love numbers. I love like finding ways to move money in ways that works, and benefits
Yeah.
you and helps other people and helps you and stuff like that. So
That's a good answer.
yeah,
That's a really good
that's
answer.
what I would do. What about you?
For me, I say this a lot. So when I went to, when people ask this, I typically say this answer. When I went to college, my original major was computer science. I wanted to be a coder.
Oh man, do you know any code?
No.
I wanted to be a coder. I don't know anything about coding though.
when I was growing up, so my sister, this will kind of relate. When my sister was 10 years older than me, and she was literally like valedictorian, insane. Like she's
Super smart.
just really smart. So I kind of had this like, oh, you got to follow in your sister's footsteps, like you really got to like try to do your best in school, and she's also she's actually kind of stopped doing it now a little bit, but she's going away from it now. But she became a nurse practitioner. So very doctory side of the family
Yeah.
over there, right? But I didn't want to do that. I didn't see doctor or anything like that. Hell no, that's not me.
Dr. JC.
No, dude. No. So that was never a thing. I thought about the main thing growing up, I was like, well, I want to be a YouTuber, but if I couldn't do that, it was I wanted to learn code and just software development, I guess, just all that kind of thing. and eventually make like I think it's either make. Okay, I got two for you. Make games like with
Like developing.
yeah, like actually like doing the code. See, it sounds so. I bet that sounds horrible.
Doing the code.
Doing the code.
The code thing.
Coding a game in the future or animation. I thought animation was
okay.
super cool.
Like actually animating it or drawing the animation?
Like not drawing. No, I can't do that. I'm not good at drawing. But I think like I want to learn a lot more with like After Effects and stuff. And I know it's kind of video-y and very like YouTube-y, but honestly, I don't think of it as YouTube-y. Like I had a bunch of thoughts, like especially when I was in high school and in that time where I was thinking, well, if me being like a content creator doesn't work out, like I really want to learn how to edit really well. Like I want to learn how to edit for movies or I was
So still in the creative realm.
I
now.
was hating on you for saying videos, but then that's kind of what I'm
that's
saying too.
it,
It's like
dude. Like,
animation and all that kind of thing. I thought that was a really cool. Like when I was young, I loved special effects. I thought special effects were the coolest thing. Do you know like Video Copilot?
yeah, I've heard of
Andrew Kramer,
yeah.
living legend, dude. Like I used to watch like all of his videos. Even if I couldn't do them, I would just
just
like
watch
watch
them
his
to see how it
tutorials
done.
because he'd be like, "Hello, everybody, it's me, Andrew Kramer. I'm gonna show you how to make a space like." All these different planets. I made this for the Star Trek Into Darkness intro or opening of the movie. You're never gonna be able to do this probably, but here you go. Here's a tutorial. Like, and I would just look at that. I'm like, dude, that's so cool. How'd you do that? And he like got contracted to do it. Like that's so sick to me. So
Yeah.
I really was passionate about that a lot. And I think honestly, if I had the time, I think I'd still want to do that. I'd still want to learn more like special effects,
and
animation, just
motion graphics. Stuff.
motion graphics, a lot of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, that
two
was-
computer oriented things, but one's more creative than the other. Like coding is so different than the creative realm that you're in now.
Right. But the coding thing was with the intention to make games.
Right.
And kind of in the same way you just said, well, I kind of ended up doing video production. Now I'm making a game. So
Yeah, you are.
what
Not
game
coding
is,
it,
what
but
game
yeah.
is that? I don't know.
We will find out, won't we?
We'll find out.
Eventually.
Maybe it's already out. You don't know.
Okay. Stop.
Maybe it's coming out.
You're playing with my mind right now.
There's an answer. But I'm just being vague. There's
Looks up the creators of Among Us. Oh my God, it's
It's
JC.
JC. The whole time we're talking about money, it's because I made a crap ton of
Money on Among Us. Oh
And
my
I'm like, yeah, what do I do with this?
dang, dude.
Nah, but yeah, I safe to say like most of my passions, I'm happy I'm able to do them, to be honest, which I think is super fortunate. So I'm really happy
Absolutely.
about that. I think probably the same for you too, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I love this. Again, it's Saturday. Like
Yeah, man.
every day is the same day, bro. It's a great day.
All right, so we have another question from Simple Person. What a name. Saying, question for y'all. How did the transition from high school to college go? Well, this is kind of on point with the last question, too. How did the transition from high school to college go? I know it was a long time ago, but I'd love to hear and maybe some tips. Yeah, I guess lead that
Oh,
on
I
as
could
well.
tell you the thing that I remember most from. I waited till the last day to pick what college I was going to.
Damn.
I'm telling you, like 10 minutes before the deadline, I was like, I cannot make my mind up. I ended up choosing Syracuse. Don't regret it at all. It was great. But the first week of college, I remember I had the worst homesick.
Oh, man.
Oh, homesickness. I was so distraught. Like it was so, because I didn't know anyone there.
Yeah.
I was hoping my buddy was going to go with me, and he didn't end up going with me. So I was like, just so like lonely, lost.
Were you still living at home or?
No. Went to Syracuse, up to Syracuse. So it's like a 4.5 hour drive from where I was living.
Okay.
From New Jersey. It's upstate New
Yeah,
York.
I don't know the.
True. I probably should have mentioned that. It's kind of stupid. Yeah. So it's 4 hour drive away. So I'm there alone. You know, I'm up there in my dorm, and it's different. First week was tough. I didn't know anyone. I was trying to meet people like during the events they have it for freshmen, like orientation, and it just felt like I just couldn't. I was trying really hard to make friends with people, and like just wasn't connecting
Guys,
at
my name's
all.
Matt, bro. I like making videos.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man, it's me. I make YouTube videos. Like, what's up? I'm from New Jersey.
What do you like playing?
I like to make music. I like to like mix music. That's what I did freshman year a lot.
I want to see some of that.
I have pictures of me like my shirt off, like a little DJ
Dude,
set.
I swear, like if you go back to like older videos on your channel, you look like I don't use this word often, but you look like such a player. Dude.
Really?
You just
Oh, I was not. I was not at all, dude.
Were you wearing earrings at one point?
I did have earrings.
That's
yeah.
so crazy.
Well, that's just a Jersey thing, dude. All the boys had earrings. All of them.
But
It
to
was like a
me,
real
I
Italian
guess
Guido type situation.
That's what it is. It's for me like Alabama.
Oh
to
yeah,
Jersey.
I could see it. I played right into the stereotype
Yeah.
for sure. So, but yeah, no, the first week was like tough, and then I forget what it was, but there was some event that happened where I like started to meet some people, and that's when I met my roommate Arlen, who's one of my great friends still, and
Awesome.
we hit it off, and that from then point on it was like great. So the transition, it can be tough, man. It's like it's a big difference, right? You don't have your family, you don't have like your hometown friends anymore. If you go to a school that's far away, you probably won't know anyone there.
Yeah.
So you just got to really try to be open and be positive and optimistic about meeting new people and knowing that even if it's really lonely right now, it will absolutely get better. And it's going to be, college will be 4 of the best years of your life, I think. There's so many fun experiences to have in college you just can't get elsewhere. So you got to embrace it and really enjoy it. That's my advice.
The thing I would say for me is that in general, the thing that I always say when somebody asks about like, oh, I'm college for the first time, like what is that like? Try to get involved. Really, really try to get involved.
Yes.
If there's any tip I can say, it's just the greatest thing. And we talked about this a little bit before about, do you need to go to college and all that kind of thing? But honestly, the greatest thing you get out of college, one of the best parts is just networking and meeting people, right? So meeting people and just learning the social cues of like how to do that. It sounds crazy because I mean, you know people in high school, and you're like, oh, I already know how to meet people. But like really, like when you're in college, you have to get out of your shell a little bit. You have to be like, oh, if I want to meet some people, I need to look on the college website right now and find a club, that pertains to stuff that I like and want to meet those people. And that's something I honestly regret a lot. I say this when people ask on stream and stuff, but I regret in some ways putting a little bit too much time into content creation because all the time it would be like, oh, I need to be home to record. I don't want to be a part of a club on every Wednesday night or whatever.
It takes away time.
Because that could be a video time for me
Yeah.
or a stream. It was mostly videos back then for me.
Yeah.
And so I did that a lot. I would just kind of be like a little loner in my room. And granted, I was super lucky. I was a little bit different from you. You said you didn't know a ton of people when you started?
I don't know anyone.
Yeah, see, I luckily, because Alabama, a lot of people from my hometown went to Auburn. Like we were all going to Auburn kind of thing. A good amount of my high school senior class went
That
to
helps.
Auburn. And like my best friend DC, who's been my best friend for God knows how long, since like 3rd grade, right? He went to Auburn and we were roommates the entire time through the 4-year span. And they were roommates. But but like I had DC, I had my friends from back home there, and
That probably made you more unwilling to
Exactly.
expand your
I
friend
think
base. And
I think
whatnot.
that's what it was, is because as much as that was absolutely amazing, and I definitely don't regret living with DC and those guys, it was almost like a safety net though.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I'm living there. And also, I never experienced a dorm, by the way.
You didn't have a dorm?
We lived in an apartment. There was 4 of us
Wow. As a freshman?
as a freshman.
Oh, come on. You don't even know the pains of a college dorm
No,
room?
didn't have to
Bro,
experience.
try waking up at 6 a.m. to your roommate, like trying to quietly have sex. Worst thing ever. Worst thing ever, dude. You're in the same room like 10 feet apart, and they're like, it's like, like really slowly hear the
I
creaking
can't even
bed.
imagine that
Terrible.
scenario.
It's 6 a.m. and I like barely got any sleep from the
Dude.
night before, and I'm like, just not.
Wait,
Just
in the
wait.
in the same room?
Same room. Oh yeah. Forget about it, dog. Bro, I come home sometimes and I just be dead ass, bro. Straight up. That like this is. You don't even know, dude. You don't even know. You don't even know. Oh my lord.
Dude, I've never experienced that. I have no idea.
You don't.
Dude, people are that like brave.
Well, I mean, we were like,
Bro,
yeah. I mean,
can't-
yes. Bluntly,
All right,
yes.
Like not bunk bed.
No, not a bunk
Not-
bed.
But like six feet apart,
the room,
8
Yeah.
feet, 10 feet.
I'd say like 10 feet.
That's All right, this is almost another rabbit
imagine
hole.
like it's like this. It's bigger than this room. It's like a big box, wide open. There's no like divider. There's no two doors.
so you
two
can like
different
clearly
rooms.
see.
It's one big box. His bed's on one side. My bed's on the other side. We had 2 desks in the middle. That's it. I hear everything. I see everything.
Why? But why? Dude, this blows my. I would never do that. People are so brave, man.
Well, I don't know. I was tight with him and with her too. Actually, it's funny because I actually later on ended up getting with her. Actually, was it before? No, it was before he got with her. It was before he got with her. Yeah, I had already gotten with her, and then they ended up dating, and so it was like not like it wasn't like that. It wasn't that because I'd already seen her naked like. Anyway, this is not important. This is not important. This is not relevant. Jess is going to be like, oh, why'd you say that story? It was nothing. Literally not important at all. This was freshman year, like way early on. But yeah, it happened. Like it happened.
That's crazy.
Dude, dorm life, the worst.
Nah,
It's
dude.
the best and the worst.
See, I didn't have a ton of I have my own room.
That's great.
I never
Good
lived.
for you. You privileged little bitch.
It was in Alabama though. Look, we had nothing.
Yeah, fair enough. What? So for freshman and sophomore year, I had a dorm, but then, well, actually, junior year I had a dorm too because we elected to do one. Senior year I had an apartment. I had a huge ass room senior year.
See, we had all I remember is my first apartment. There was 4 of us. There was one guy, Tanner, living legend. He was a senior when we were all freshmen. So the 3 of us were freshmen, and then we had Tanner as like this senior who knew what he was doing, and he just kind of like show us the ropes of what was going on. And yeah, and Auburn allowed you to live in an apartment your freshman year, and we decided to do it. And dude, I just remember my desk space though. It was like the way the desk space was like built. It was clearly for somebody with a MacBook. It was like clearly just you have a MacBook
And that's it.
and that's it. There is no mouse pad needed, right?
Just
it was like I'm trying to like
box.
show us visually, but I'm gonna like stand up. Well, actually, I don't want to talk away from the mic, but literally like this was the desk space was like this or something. It was super tight and it was like an indent into the wall, so there was no way to like redo it. And that was like this. And what's crazy is that room is like the room where all the Chronicle stuff happened and all that.
Dang.
And it's crazy. I somehow made it work. I like squeezed the camera, the webcam in there,
nice.
and all that kind of stuff. But I did have my own room though. I was very fortunate with that. But look, I had the safety net. I really did have a safety net.
Yeah, did the
'Cause
exact
I was
opposite.
I was living with DC and friends, and even though I just met Tanner that year, really, it was still like, oh, I have friends that I already know, and
Yeah.
a bunch of other people at Auburn that I already knew, and I regret a lot about that in some ways because I didn't really go, hey, I want to be a part of the video club or you know
Right.
like whatever you want to do, anime club, like anime club's like a meme to me.
Yeah, it
but,
definitely is not a thing. Maybe it is. I don't know.
no, it definitely is.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
you definitely can be a part of the anime club in a lot of places. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
They have everything, dude. There's chess
Well,
clubs.
see, I wasn't in clubs. I was in a fraternity, so that was like the never-ending club essentially. Like the party club, I guess you could call it.
Dude, that's a whole other podcast.
Oh,
episode.
we'll get to
So-
that. I have some college stories, as you can
Yeah,
kind of see. But yeah, I think
I do too, but I just didn't live.
No, we'll
I
do
didn't
that.
live
Let's do
that
that.
close.
Maybe that's the next episode. I don't know.
That'd be pretty cool.
We'll see. Anyway, we should keep going because we're
Yeah, but basically tips. Please go out of your comfort
Yes.
zone.
Yes.
And meet people.
you'll meet some of your best friends there.
Yeah,
if
you-
you
you
do
truly do.
go out and really try.
Yeah, but the transition to high school to college, God, it was a lot better. It was a lot better in high school, honestly.
What?
High school sucked.
Oh, it was a lot better than high school.
Yeah.
I thought you said better in high school. It's like,
No,
are you out of your mind?
Dan.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, high
college
school-
is
dude,
way better
dude,
than high school.
When people are like, yo, remember the high school days? I'm like,
no,
no.
no.
If you're in
college
high
is
school, seriously, guys, if you're in high school right now, please understand that college is so much better.
so much better.
So much better.
You experience freedom for the first time, even if you're in a
Yeah.
dorm with your whatever roommate.
I was 4 hours away from home too, so I had a little bit of that homesickness too.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed just.
But once you get used to it and then go back to being at home, you're like, oh my God, this is so much better to have my own space
Yeah.
and not have to like hear about when to go to bed or what to do or how much video games I'm playing or like anything. There's no fuss. You just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right, let's move on to the last
Last
question.
one, last
That was good. That was good though. All right, we got one from Sam to end off the podcast. This is a very good one. Question for the podcast. Something I've tended to notice with YouTube is as creators grow, they tend to lose some of their original viewers, and it begins to feel a little bit more impersonal. While you probably aren't quite big enough to fully experience this, wow,
That's a dig.
thank you, Sam.
Damn, Sam. Gotta do me like that? Jeez.
I'd be interested to hear how you've tried to keep a balance between efficiency/growth and that personal touch that makes YouTube such a unique form of media over the years. Keep up the great work. Loving the podcast. Sam. Thank you, Sam, for the roast and the kind words.
Damn. Sam just, wow.
We really are relevant.
This is a question, even though you wouldn't know the answer to. I'm going to ask it anyway. Just so you can imagine.
Okay, I think Sam is asking basically, in terms of, I think of streaming when I think of this.
Yeah.
The more viewers you have, it gets a little bit more impersonal because you can't remember. You literally physically cannot remember everybody.
Right.
You just can't.
Yeah.
And how do you deal with that? And like, how do you try to keep a balance between being personal, because obviously people like you being personal,
Right.
And how does that work?
I'm not even sure I have a great answer for this.
Okay.
I feel like it's different with streaming than videos, right? Because streaming is
that's
like
what you
a live. It's like you're interacting live. Like
Do you
there's a
think
really
your
personal connection with streaming.
Do you think your streams were really personal?
Well, they are because I
Yeah.
don't have that many people there.
Yeah.
So, and I love that. I
Yeah.
love that I know everyone's name. I know like a little bit about each person almost.
Yeah.
I know what a lot of their voices sound like because I play with them enough to know, which is really personal.
Yeah.
But for like the videos, like I'll read comments and I don't know almost any of them. So it's way different for me. I think you'd be better to answer this because I think you've had that smaller community and now you've built a bigger community to where it's a couple hundred per stream and there's just no way to respond to everyone or know everyone. Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
I would still say mine, even though you're saying like there's more.
Yeah.
It's still pretty personal though.
Yeah.
Honestly, like my streams I recognize a lot, like all the people in there. Like sometimes I can go back and I'm like, oh, I recognize that those people have been in my streams for months, right? Especially with like consistent subs and stuff on Twitch when you have like the actual.
And
yeah, it's like, 22 months. You've been a sub for 22 months.
Yeah.
I know you've been around, right? Streaming on YouTube to streaming on Twitch for me, right? I almost did a reverse in a way. I genuinely have way more viewership on YouTube. I did. I would have, even when I was doing variety on YouTube a little bit, when I would stream like Outlast and these like scary games and stuff, I did that for a little bit before I switched. I think I was getting like a decent amount of viewers. It was definitely like 500 to 1,000 range, especially if I played zombies or something. It'd be like 1,000, right, on YouTube. One of the last stream I ever did was the Dead of the Night Easter egg hunt in 2018. Wow. On YouTube. And those streams, so impersonal. Is it impersonal? Impersonal.
I don't know. So not personal.
So not personal. But they're so not personal. Like it's just, and I find that with YouTube chat a lot. Like YouTube chat for some reason to me it just feels a little bit more impersonal. And I don't know what that is, but I think also just, especially like Easter egg hunts and stuff like that. Like there's just so many people in there, and it's so hard to like really talk to people and really like get a feel of like who's all in the stream and stuff. And I know for me, I sort of had a realization. I know we're like, this podcast is super long. Did definitely go over the last one.
We're almost beating our last one.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I'll hurry. But the thing for me is I actually had like, this was really the problem I was having on YouTube. I felt like my community at the time, this is not everybody. Please do not take this as like I didn't like my community on YouTube, because you guys know I freaking love my community. But I felt like there was an increasing amount of people who were coming into my streams or coming into my channel and being negative or like or whatever, or toxic or whatever. and I could see it like increasing. Like I would be streaming Dead of the Night, and people would be like, "This map sucks. This map sucks," or like they clearly weren't even there like watching for me. Like some people, you had like that core audience that was watching that like were like here watching me do an Easter egg hunt, but then you had people who were just, and that was just during that time period. Like the zombies community got really, really negative.
Yeah.
And I could see a lot of new people coming in and just being like clearly just like, who's this guy? Like I'm here just
it ruins
to see
the
this.
vibe.
Yeah, and it's this weird vibe. And I actually, like Sam, to this point, like literally what you're talking about, I actually made the switch to Twitch because I was missing the personal connection. I was missing these are my, like I can see my hardcore audience clear as day. And I know for a fact that these guys are like supporting me and these guys are like down to watch my stuff. At the end of the day, of course you want more viewers, right? Like if I could have like 10,000 people watching me, that'd be insane, right? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But I do think there is like a sad sacrifice to that because to me, the fun of all of my streams is the fact that I can list people right now off the top of my head, like Whisper and all these guys, Whisper, Person Man. Like I know names in my head. Yeah. There's this girl, Shoddy. Her name is literally Shoddy in the chat.
She calls us daddy.
Yeah, that's strange. But but like I can list people that have been in my streams normally. And if I had like 10,000 viewers, I couldn't.
Yeah.
And that's really sad. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is of like how you like combat it. I just think you gotta find ways. I think sometimes you just need to do streams and do content that are just for you. Even if it might not be like as much as you want to always do the most successful thing, sometimes maybe don't. Maybe do something for your own sake. Like I want to make this just because it's fun. And you'll see like the hardcore supporters will come out and show support. And I don't know. I don't really know what the answer is and where I'm getting with this, but like I literally deal with this all the time.
I feel you. I feel like the hardcore supporters are watching this right now.
Literally. Literally, this podcast is a great example.
Exactly.
You guys who are listening and watching on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, like you guys are here because I think you guys like feel more like I feel like the audience that watches this way more personal to me than, you know, if we did a stream right now, you know, playing like Kino or something, right? Like
why do you guys say Kino?
I know
God,
you hate
that map's trash.
But I'm just saying, like, but I still appreciate the audience. Don't get me wrong. I still appreciate the viewers that would come in. But it's like there's something to be said about the fact that you guys are listening to this through a link from an original video on our channels, and you're like here on this podcast channel. Like the couple thousand of you have been watching the podcast, and you're here listening. Like that to me, that's. And in some weird way, that's like the value to me of like what makes me happy. Like that hardcore, passionate audience that like, oh, I want to watch JC and Matt because JC and Matt seem pretty cool and I want to like see what they're talking about. That to me is what makes me happy the most. And I think you just got to do like this podcast, guys. Let's just end it off this way. This podcast, me and Matt at no point were like, yo, we're going to do this podcast to make a crap ton of money. Or to make literally anything. Like if we literally have fake money on the table, I'm sure like we would love if this podcast can bring income, of course, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're doing this because it's fun.
Oh, I just really wanted to have that platform to talk about.
Yeah, we just need to talk about stuff. And I feel like there's something really cool about that. Like that it's not. It might not be the most financially viable thing for us to do right now.
No, I mean,
you know, it might not.
To be honest, we haven't made anything from it, and we put it together for as affordable as we can, just because we wanted to do it. We wanted to look good, and I think any money we make from it is going to go right back into making it even better.
Yeah,
from the jump at least. So
yeah,
no, I agree.
I hope that like did that answer that question?
Oh,
I'm hoping it did.
You went through that fully. You're good.
I just deal with it a lot, man. I deal with people like. All the time, just being like, "Oh, you're so hypocritical, JC.
Dude,
you're coming back."
I'm like,
dude,
it makes me mad to hear that shit because it's like there's it's just a terrible argument, terrible comment. Well, it's like, it just makes no sense. It just makes no sense.
It's just like, dude, if I really wanted to, I know exactly what videos I'd be making right now. I know,
but
exactly.
You don't want to though.
I know.
So who cares? Like they're just
I
so
know,
like
but
that's
that's
all
what
you got
I'm
to
saying.
say. It's already wrong. They're already in the
I know,
wrong.
but that's what I'm saying, Matt. That's what gets me, bro.
Oh, I know.
It's what gets me. It's like, dude, I literally know. Oh my god, I could go down. I'm not, but like, if I really wanted to, the thing I'd be doing on my YouTube channel right now is I'd be doing things people say again, and I'd be doing it about zombies leading up to Cold War. Probably get Lex on for some episodes. Probably do some episodes myself. I'd actually probably do a retrospective and do things people say on every single zombies map because everybody loved the retrospectives this year. I would have probably done that, and I probably would have made money. Probably would have made a good amount of money doing that on YouTube, and probably would have banged, to be honest. Like have things people say come back and do it on all these old maps leading up to Cold War. That's like I can see in my head I could have done that. Literally, I could have done that. And also, I could stream zombies every single day on my Twitch channel if I wanted to and have more viewership. But I don't want to.
Then don't do
I
it.
genuinely don't want to. It's like I want that hardcore the audience because it makes me feel more like pumped up to stream.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like it is a hard thing to balance though. Because you want to do the thing that gives you more retention, more viewership or whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to be like, nah, I'm going to do it. I mean, I'm sure for like a bigger streamer or something, maybe they're like, you know what? I'm going to do a cooking stream today. See how that goes. You know, sometimes you got to just do things for yourself.
Bro, that's why we're doing this podcast.
I know. Sorry.
You're good.
I got heated.
I think you put us over. You
Damn
put us, that's our record.
Jess is gonna kill us.
Oh, she's going to be like, it's way too long. We've consistently gone up in time every single podcast. One of these times will actually come down to like a more reasonable. Who cares though? It's 2 hours. If you know what? If you made it this far, if you watched it all the way through, let us know in the comments. Just put like a
Say the word cookie.
cookie. There you go. You put cookie in the comments. We know you are a hardcore true homie, and you are, like you said, one of the people that make it so great.
Genuinely.
Because you're here watching the whole thing.
There's 100% going to be some people who watch.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. But that was the show.
And we appreciate you guys a ton. We really
Thank
do.
you guys so much for listening, for watching. Hopefully you guys got some advice, some insight, some knowledge out of this podcast. Again, if you want to hit up the Robinhood stuff, I'm gonna leave a link down in the description on the YouTube video, so it'll be easy for you guys to get to. And yeah, anything else you got?
I believe that's it.
Cool.
I think that's it. And probably pretty soon we're gonna have hopefully some guests on.
So first guests, yeah.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
So stay tuned for that, and also always give your opinion on who those people should be because we're looking out for those as well. We're scouting.
Scouting for some guests.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Have a great week, and we'll see y'all next Monday.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
Bye bye.